Welcome to the session on fluid mechanics, part 1. Fluid mechanics is the branch of physics which deals with the laws of equilibrium and motion of liquids and gases, as well as the interaction of the moving liquids and gases, generally called fluids, with the solid bodies they flow along. The motion of fluid is said to be stationary when the motion pattern does not change with the time. Although the velocity of a small volume of fluid changes position, the velocity of the fluid at each point in space remains the same. Fluid mechanics. Fluid statistics is the division of fluid mechanics that investigates the conditions and laws of the equilibrium of liquids and gases subjected to the action of applied forces. Fluid dynamics is the division of fluid mechanics concerned with the laws of motion of liquids and gases and their interaction with solids. To describe the motion of a fluid, one can set the position of each of its particles as a function of time. This method of description is called after J. Lagrange. The Lagrangian method specifies fluid motion by indicating the dependence of the coordinates of the fluid particles on the time t. Thus, x is equal to f1 of a, b, c, t, y is equal to f2 of a, b, c, t, z is equal to f3 of a, b, c, t. Let this system be named as 1, where a, b and c are the coordinates of the particle at the initial instant of time t is equal to 0 and serve to denote the particle. One can obtain the path equation of the particle by elimination the time from these equations. The quantities a, b, c and t are called the Lagrangian variables. The projections of the velocity vector v and the acceleration vector a of the particle on the axis of coordinates are equal to Vx is equal to dou x by dou t, Vy is equal to dou y by dou t and Vz is equal to dou z by dou t, Ax is equal to dou square x by dou t square, Ay is equal to dou square y by dou t square and Az is equal to dou square z by dou t square. Let the system be named as 2. The second and principal method used in fluid mechanics is the one called the Eulerian method. It determines the motion or flow of fluids by specifying a velocity field of the fluid in space at each instant of time, that is, v is equal to f of rt, let it be equation number 3, or expressed as projections on the axis of rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. Vx is equal to f1 of xyzt, Vy is equal to f2 of xyzt, Vz is equal to f3 of xyzt. Let the system be named as 4, where v is equal to vxi plus vyj plus vzk is the velocity of the fluid at the instant of time t, and at the point in space defined by the radius vector r is equal to xi plus yj plus zk. The quantities x, y, z are known as the Eulerian variables. Cylindrical, spherical and other kinds of coordinates can be used as Eulerian variables in place of the Cartesian coordinates x, y, z. The projection of the acceleration vector a of the particles of a fluid on the axis of Cartesian coordinates equals Ax is equal to dvx by dt, which is equal to dou vx by dou t into square root of dou vx by dou into vx plus dou vx by dou y into vy plus dou vz by dou z into vz. Ay is equal to dvz by dt, which is equal to dou vx by dou t into square root of dou vy by dou into vx plus dou vx by dou y into vy plus dou vz by dou z into vz. Az is equal to dvz by dt, which is equal to dou vz by dou plus dou vz by dou y into vx plus dou vz by dou z into vy plus dou vz by dou z into vz. Let the system be named as 5. It is evident from these equations that the acceleration of a fluid particle is equal to the sum of two accelerations A is equal to A local acceleration plus A convectional acceleration, in which A local is equal to dou Vx by dou t into I plus dou Vy by dou t into j plus dou Vz by dou t into k. Let this be equation number 6. This is the local acceleration resulting from the change in the velocity field in time, and A convection is equal to Vx into dou Vx by dou x plus Vy into dou Vx by dou y plus Vz into dou Vx by dou z I plus Vx into dou Vy by dou x plus Vy into dou Vy by dou y plus Vz into dou Vy by dou z j plus Vx into dou Vz by dou x plus Vy into dou Vz by dou y plus Vz into dou Vz by dou z k. Let this system be named as 7. Is the conversion acceleration which is due to non-uniformity of the velocity field. Properties of fluids. 1. Fluid density and specific gravity. A fluid is usually characterized by a density rho at every point. Fluid density is defined as the ratio of the mass of the fluid contained in an infinitesimal volume element around the point in question to the volume itself. That is, rho is equal to limit of delta m by delta v as delta v tends to 0. The units of fluid density rho are kilogram per meter cube. The inverse quantity 1 by rho is called as specific volume. Generally, the density of a liquid is measured by a factor by which it exceeds the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. The corresponding ratio rho liquid by rho water is termed as the specific gravity of the liquid. 2. Pressure of a fluid. At every point in a fluid, that is liquid, one can define a pressure as the force per unit area at that point. The force may be due to the fluids in the neighborhood or due to the molecules of solids at the boundary of the container. However, if there are no shearing forces present, there is no relative motion between the layers of the fluid, even though the liquids as a whole may have an acceleration A. The pressure at a point in the liquid under such conditions is the same in all directions. That is, it is independent of the orientation of the area on which the force on the liquid at the point is assumed to act. This is called as Pascal's law. According to this law, in a confined liquid, externally applied pressure is transmitted uniformly in all directions. In a static fluid, force is transmitted at the speed of sound throughout the fluid and acts as right angles to any surface or in bounding the fluid. This principle is made use of in the hydraulic jack, the pneumatic tire and similar devices. To see this, let us consider a fluid under pressure, figure 1. Let us consider a wedge shaped volume element whose side view is the right angled triangle ABC as shown in figure 1. Fx, Fy and F are the forces exerted by the rest of the fluid on the 3 side faces, and the areas of these faces are Ax, Ay and A respectively. Since there can be no shear forces as the fluid is at equilibrium, and hence the forces will be normal to the surfaces of the wedge. As the fluid is at rest, we have F cos alpha is equal to Fy and F sin alpha is equal to Fx. For the time being, we may neglect the weight of the fluid. Moreover, we may need not include forces on the n faces here, since they are perpendicular to Fx, Fy and F and must be therefore separately cancel each other. Further, we have Ay is equal to A into cos alpha and Ax is equal to A into sin alpha. So, F divided by A is equal to Fy divided by Ay, which is equal to Fx divided by Ax. Let this be equation number 9. This shows that the forces per unit area are the same in all the three phases. Moreover, this force is a normal compression. Any one of the ratios in equation 9 defines the hydrostatic pressure P in the fluid. That is, P is equal to F divided by A. Let it be equation number 10. In case if the pressure is not the same at all points of a finite plane of area A, then we have P is equal to dF divided by dA. Let it be equation number 11. We may note that pressure is not a vector quantity. The force against any area within or say bounding a fluid at rest is normal to the area regardless of the orientation of the area. Let us now consider a fluid which, in addition to pressure, is subjected to an external force F per unit volume, usually termed as the body force density. Now, the body force acting on any small volume dV is then F into dV. When a fluid is kept in a gravitational field, we have F is equal to rho into G. Let it be equation number 12, where rho is the density of the fluid. However, at different points in the fluid, the body force density F may be different in magnitude and direction. Now, we consider nearly 2 points P1 and P2 in the fluid separated by displacement vector dr as shown in figure 2. We now construct a cylinder of length dr and area of cross section dA. The end faces of this cylinder contain the points P1 and P2. From figure 2, we have P2 minus P1 into dA is equal to F dot dr into dA. P2 minus P1 is equal to dP, which is equal to F dot dr. Let it be equation number 13, where P1 and P2 denote pressures at the points P1 and P2 respectively. Now, for a finite separation between points P1 and P2, we have P2 minus P1 is equal to integral from R1 to R2 F dot dr. Let it be equation number 14. We may note that the line integral is to be taken along some paths lying in the fluid from R1 to R2. Let us consider that for a fluid kept in gravitational field G, P1 and P2 lie on a vertical line and P2 is at height h above P1, figure 3. From equation 14, one obtains by taking the vertical paths from P1 to P2. P2 minus P1 is equal to negative of integral from P1 to P2 rho into G dr, which is equal to negative of rho into G into R2 minus R1, which is equal to negative of rho into G into H. One can obtain the same result by following any other paths within the form P1 to P2. We may note that the fluid considered here in incompressible, for which the density is not a function of pressure. We may note that the difference in pressure between points P1 and P2 depends only on the body force. If we change the pressure P2 in any way, pressure P1 will also change by the same amount unless the body force does not change. Obviously, any change in pressure at any point in a fluid equilibrium is accompanied by the equal change at all other points. Thus, we have proved Pascal's law. That is, the pressure exerted on the fluid by external forces is transmitted equally in all directions. The SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square, which is called a Pascal. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. Let us consider a scalar S, which is a function of space coordinates, then change in S in finite small displacement dr is represented as ds is equal to dr dot del S. Let it be equation number 16. Now comparing equation 16 with equation 13, we find that F is equal to del P into grad P. Let it be equation number 17. This shows that the pressure gradient in a fluid at equilibrium is equal to the body force density. Obviously, net force per unit volume due to pressure is negative of del P into negative of grad P. In the light of the geometrical measuring of the gradient, equation 17 reveals that the surfaces of constant pressure in the fluid are everywhere perpendicular to the body force. Since del cross del is equal to 0, we have del cross F is equal to 0. Let it be equation number 18. This is an essential and necessary condition on the body force density in order equilibrium of the fluids to be possible. 3. Compressibility. The compressibility of fluid is also defined in the way we define a solid. The bulk modulus K, that is inverse of compatibility, is very high for liquids, though not as high as for solids. This is why liquids are generally regarded as incompressible. This fact is very important as the density of liquid can be essentially taken to be constant. We may note that the compressibility of liquids decreases with an increase of pressure, initially very fast, but later much slower. The variation of compressibility with temperature is much more complicated, but compressibility generally increases with temperature. At room temperature, the value of compressibility for water is almost 5 into 10 square m square per n. In case of gases, compressibility depends upon the state of gas and also on the nature thermodynamic transformation. We may note that gases are highly compressible. For an ideal gas obeying PV is equal to nRT, for instance, the isothermal compressibility is 1 by P, while the isoentropic compressibility is 1 by Rp. Let me summarize this session. Fluid statistics is the division of fluid mechanics that investigates the conditions and laws of equilibrium of liquids and gases subjected to the action of applied forces. Fluid dynamics is the division of fluid mechanics concerned with the laws of motion of liquids and gases and of their interaction with solids. An incompressible fluid is a liquid or gas in which the dependence of the density on pressure can be neglected in a given problem. A compressible fluid is a gas in which the dependence of the density on pressure cannot be neglected in a given problem. The proportion of fluids includes fluid density, specific gravity, pressure, compressibility, etc. Here are some questions for you to work out. First one, what is a basic difference between a solid and a fluid? Second one, what is the importance of fluid dynamics? Third one, what is meant by compressibility of a fluid? Fourth one, what is a viscous fluid? Fifth one, explain the motion of a fluid by Lagrangian method. I can suggest some books for your further reading. 1. Elementary Fluid Dynamics by Ashton D.J. 2. An Introduction to Fluid Dynamics by Batchelor G.K. 3. Fluid Mechanics, a course reader by Jeremy M. And 4. A Textbook of Fluid Mechanics by R.K. Rajput. Thank you for watching this program. See you in the next session. Till then, bye.